Hello everyone. Today we have released data-driven framework version 4.0 for XML implementation. For reading the test data from the XML files. So earlier version 3.x, used to read the test data from the XML file, but it depends. It uses the TestNG API, data-driven annotation for reading the test data from the XML file. So with the version 4.0 it does not have any TestNG data provider annotation for reading the test data from the XML file. It's independent of any TestNG API. So this can be integrated with any automation APIs or tools which supports Java. So if you want to check with the want to go with the older version, here is the link. Click on that link and it's navigated to the versions 3.x and 3.1.x and all other versions. So the pre-request is Java 1.6 or higher version and Eclipse IDE for executing the program. So you can download the zip file from the repository. Click on the link and you can download the uh, zip file from the repository. It contains the jar file, 4.0 jar file, Java docs, example program and release notes. So once you extract the jar file, zip file, it contains the jar file. Set the build path for the jar file. So set the build path for this h-ddf4.0 jar file. So and copy the examples program into examples folder into your Eclipse IDE project. So this is how it was. So let me start with the program. So once so properties Java build path. So set the build path for h-ddf4.0.jar. So it does not depend on any other jar files for reading the test data from the XML file. So before going to the 4.0 version jar file demonstrating, let me show with the example program for using 3.x using TestNG uh, TestNG data provider annotation for reading the test data from the XML file. This is the program for demonstrating reading the test data from the XML file using data provider annotation of TestNG. So, and after that I will demonstrate the program without using a TestNG data provider annotation. So file is flightinfo.xml file, test data file. So we have two sets of test data. One is marked as true and other marked as false. So here as part of configuration we will provide the file path and flight details. This is the flight details. This is the XML element. This is the parent XML element. Let me show. This is the parent XML element. So for each set of XML test data there should be flight details closing and ending. And this test include XML test include should be matching with the value, this value test include, and the value true or false should be configured here. True or false are configured here. So whatever the value you configure for the yes, for S is considered by the data framework, and whatever the value you set it for no, that uh, XML data is ignored by the data driven framework. So we have two sets, one with test data with true and other with marked as false. So it will display the test data with a deccan. Let me execute the program. Run as test ng. So here you can see a deccan. So here if you see the method is retrieve test data. So let me jump into the sample program without using a testng data provider annotation. Closing this one, open the non-testng example program containing the so this is a non-testng. Open this one, and I am opening the test data file as well opening it with, okay. In this program if you see I'm not using any testng data provider annotation. So this is just a main program. Whatever we configure earlier in the data provider annotation, the same things, the same configuration remains same. There is no change. Only the method call is different. Earlier we used to use retrieve test data when we are using with the testng data provider annotation. So here just we are changing it to retrieve data. So everything the configuration everything remains same. There is no change. So all flight details and all other configurations remain same. Only this is different, and there is no test ng data provider annotation. So and this kind of program you can integrate with any Java API tool, API tool which uses Java. So you can integrate with JUnit or any tool which does not have any test ng data provider. So let me. So we have two sets of data. One is true and other one is false. So let me update the data. And let me re-execute the program. Run as Java application. So a deccan treble one. Whatever the updated value is present is displayed in the output. If I want to mark the next value also as true. So now two sets of test data is considered by the data driven framework. Let me re-execute the program. So even you make any modification or changes in the test data, it does not have any effect in the program. So that's how the data driven framework works. Thanks for watching the demo. Have a nice day.